is tormented by a succubus. Call assist, pencil dripping from the way I spit. Fell in love with this, sis got music, now she in my grips. Wanna take a sip of her only sign says six. No questions asked, always late, only smash. Trying up my sis got team, get a foot off in your ass.
Hey, what's going on guys? It's me, Mr. Fine here. I'm going to be making a tutorial on how to make opening and closing door. The first thing you want to do is make your door. Now, it doesn't matter what your door looks like. It can be anything you want, but there's one thing that you have to do which is fairly important. So what you're going to do is go ahead and make a wall, just so you can see it open and close. I'll just make this red area the wall. And so the easiest way to do this is to, after you design your door and at the corners of the door where you want it opening, so let's say I want the door to open from here to here, what you're going to do is right here you're going to add parts. So you're going to add parts to the corners of the door, because you're going to be rotating the parts. Now you want to rotate, you want to put the part at the base somewhere like that, and it doesn't have to be perfect, all right? It just has to be right in between the door and the wall, and it just has, the door has to go through the center of the part. So a simple way to do this, to ensure that it's properly in the center, is to use Roblox's moving intervals. So if you built your door, just make sure to have a corner piece right here, and you can make it really small, but as you can see, as long as it's balanced between the two sides, it's fine, and it can be really tiny. Now it doesn't have to be visible, so you can set the transparency of the piece to 1. Group the door, and once you have this door, what you're going to do is you want to make sure, you want to go ahead and select the part right here, and you basically want to go ahead and if you want, you can make it smaller, like so, but you just want something in the corner between the door and the wall. And once you do that and you model it, it doesn't matter anymore. As long as you put the door in the correct position, it should work. What you're going to do is you're going to need something to activate the door. Now you want to make sure the door is anchored, and you want to set the model primary part to the part in the corner, and all you gotta do is name the main door or whatever other parts you have. You just want to make sure that this part here is set as the primary part, right, like so. And then what you're going to do is we're going to be lerping the door. We're going to need a method to open the door and close it. So this is usually up to you. You can have your own local script if you want, but I'm going to be doing this with a script and a click detector, so that when you press the door, it opens it. So what inside the script, what you're going to do is you're going to define the click detector. So assuming the click detector is in the main part of the door, or it may be at the key, you want to go from the script to the door to the click detector. So you're going to do script.parent.clickDetector. I'm sorry if I sound kind of confused, because I'm feeling kind of sick, but I'm just going to go ahead with this tutorial. So what you're going to do is you're going to do clickDetector.mouseClickConnect function. So what this does is it creates a connection with the click detector, and every time the click detector is used, so when someone clicks on it, this stuff inside here, code inside here will run, right? So you want to make sure that you have the door as well. So what you can do to make this better is to simply go ahead and do local door equals script.parent.parent, and then click detector equals door dot door, and then you can go ahead and also you don't actually have to define the main part because the main part is set as the primary part. You could technically do this another way, but I prefer to do it this way. It's much easier. So once you click the click detector, you want the door to rotate. So to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to lerp the C frame. So to do that, you're going to go ahead and put it into a loop. So for I equals 1 to let's see, 0 to 1, 0.1 do, right? And then you want to do door set primary part C frame, door dot primary part dot C frame lerp. See, and then what you need is the C frame goal and the number. So the C frame goal is the door dot primary part. So we actually want this outside. So local goal equals to door dot primary part dot C frame times C frame dot angles, right? Put it in radians, and then do that. And then you want to take that goal and put it inside here. Then you want I, and let's add a weight in here so that we can see it happen. So let's go ahead and press play. Now this is only for the door opening, and I'm not good with C frames, so we're going to be testing this multiple times. Alright, so I'm going to press on the door. As you can see, it went down. That's not what we wanted, so I'm going to have to make changes. So what you're going to do is change that math.rad90 and just put it somewhere else. And then eventually what will happen is the door will open and close. So you're going to go ahead and press that. So as you can see, the door did open. I think I'm on the wrong side of the door. So the next thing we're going to do is put down exactly what we want for the door. So right now we're going to do local door data equals table, and open equals door dot so this is the open door. So we just tested this. We know that the door opens using this, right? So the closing of the door is actually just the door, like the door in its current position, right? So if you leave the door open, what you want to do is you want to switch these two lines. You want to actually, you don't want to switch the lines. You want to just simply change this to close, and then this to open, because then it becomes the opposite, right? So always make sure that if the door, the little part here, that's where it's going to be rotating on. So it's either going to open this way or this way, right? And you can simply change that by changing this 90 value to negative or positive. So right here, what we're going to do is we're going to set the state of the door to local state equals closed. This lets us know when we should, change it. So we're going to make a function now. So local function open door. So open door, what it's going to do is simply open door, and you're going to do 0, 1, 0.1 do, wait 0.01. This here is the interval between the door opening. So the smaller the number, the smoother it's going to look. And then you're going to do door set primary part C frame, right? And it's going to do primary part dot C frame lerp. So you're going to lerp it, all right, and you're going to do door data open, or door data dot open is actually fine. So you want to move it open, right? So you're going to do that, and then you're going to do close door. So for I equals 0, 1, 0.1 do, wait 0.01. This is interval, smaller equals smoother. Alright, this is interval, smaller equals smoother. Alright, And then what's going to happen is you're going to go ahead and again do the same thing. So from here you want to move it to door data close, right? So when you open the door, you want to set the state to open, right? Open. And then you want to set the state to over here. You want to set the state to close. And then let's also add a debounce on the door so people can't spam it. All right. So let's go ahead and do local cooldown equals, let's say, so the cooldown usually is somewhere along the lines of this here times the number of times this is going to loop. So to determine how many times this is going to loop, you take this number here and you basically divide it by this number, right? So you can assume that this is probably going to loop 10 times or more, probably I think 11. No, 10. Okay, so you're going to divide 1 over 0.1. That's going to be 10, and then you're going to multiply it by this. So 10 times 0.01 is 0.1, so it's going to take 0.1 seconds to open the door fully. So if your time is somewhere along the lines of this, if it's the same, then you can keep the cooldown the same, and then you can do something like last open. So this is a different type of cooldown you may have seen before, so which is fine because I'm going to teach you how to use it. So what tick is, it's, to keep it simple, it's current time, right? Current time in seconds. So there's a certain date, and then basically tick represents the current time in seconds from that date. But just to keep it simple, just think of it current time in seconds. So every time you use tick, it's going to be different. It's not going to be the same, because what's happening is time keeps changing, right? So tick's also going to be changing, which can be used as a used for cooldowns. So to make it work, you're going to do if tick. So if the current time minus the last time the door was opened is bigger or equal to the cooldown, then and then according to the state, so if state equals closed, then open door, else closed door. So this should open and close the door. So let's go ahead and test it. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and test it. We're going to press the door and then we're going to close it. And as you can see, the door opens and closes fairly well. Looks like I didn't anchor these, but that is okay. Let's anchor it just to make sure that the door is properly lerping. So let's make sure the wall doesn't go moving. Alright, so let's go ahead and press the door. Right, and then we're going to close it. So as you can see, it's all based on this tiny part in the corner. You don't have to make it visible, right? And you can design the door however you want. The main point is to have some sort of part in the corner to be opening and closing this door for you. So that's basically it to this tutorial, and this is the main code. A lot of you have been complaining that you guys can't keep up with my tutorials, so I'm going to be keeping this piece of code. I'm going to put it into the description of the video if you guys need it. And yeah, I'm actually running out of ideas for tutorials, so if you could, it would be appreciated to put down some suggestions in the comments below.